So, giving kind of an update right now. I was letting my team know that interest rates, if people are not aware, they are going up. The rates, the average rate, of course, has been been below 3% for a while, and it eked up a bit because the bond markets have just kind of been moving in a different direction. So that's just kind of the nature of the business. Homes will still continue to get built, people will still continue to buy. So I'm not too much worried about it. But pending home sales, they jumped to a 7-month high, and mortgage applications fall. What they say here. That's on this article here. Was this one that you threw in, Jack, or who threw this in here? I think it was.
It wasn't me, so must have been Steven.
Might have been Steven. Yeah. It's all good. But it is something that, of course, that we have to consider because it's cyclical. Everything kind of goes, ups and the downs in the market that we've been in. It's been pretty rough with even trying to get an accepted offer. So have y'all been doing a whole lot of refinances over there?
We've done a ton of refinances. It's been pretty much, it slowed down maybe for a period of 2 months. So when the rates dropped in 2020,
right,
it went crazy, and then they kept dropping, and then I forgot when it was. They started going back up for a little while. That was now October. That might have been early summer. Like May, June, the rates started going back up, and then they went back down again. So whenever the rates go down, the refinances increase like crazy.
Of course.
And home buying increases too. I mean, like the purchase loans, but also, I mean, everyone's that's in their current mortgage and they have a 4%, they're going to go try to get that 2.5,
right,
which makes sense. But how do you feel about that? Because everyone's freaking out. Like people freak out about, hey, the rates are going to go up, and they're going to go up. But like, I mean, I just look at trends. I'm like, rates historically go down, like over the long term. So
they do, and they can't stay low forever.
Can't stay low forever.
If anyone sitting around waiting, I got a buddy of mine that he just kept on. Man, I just want to watch the rate. Now I think he's at 2.25 now.
Oh.
And I'm like, bro, you can't get the loan for free.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
not.
It's not going to be much lower than that. No. So. When I explained it to him, I said, listen, you could try to get on, because he was thinking about a 15-year. I said, well, if you do a 15-year, you're going to be almost doubling your payment, on what you have. So just know, even if you get a lower rate, that payment's going to go up.
Yeah,
So,
it all depends on what your financial situation
exactly.
too. Some people don't understand. Like, I mean, like you said, I mean, 15 years. Like you want to get done paying off the house, then you go 15 years, 10 years. 30 it's a long time. It's a little bit of time, but I mean,
but you can pay it early though.
You can play it early.
Right.
You could even play like depending on what you're trying to do. Like me and my wife are trying to be investors, so there's like a couple of games. You could play the equity game with the 30-year loan. You could play all kinds of different games. 15 years will get you down in equity just by paying, but if you find a good deal, you can sit on a house, pay it the lowest monthly payment you want, and then try to play the equity game. But it all depends on what you got going on.
Absolutely. Well, in all this madness, I know we were dealing with the COVID-19 and the prices of lumber went up and all that. Now they plummeted. Now,
lumber's down, right?
It's way down.
So you can build that 7,000 square foot house.
Well, you hope, right? Because the builder prices are not down.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I think they're going to remain elevated because once they get that comp that they can use to sell, they're going to use that bad boy.
That's another thing I was going to ask you. So what do you think about like the home sales versus like, okay, so the rates are going up, right? Do you think there's going to be as many people purchasing right now? Like the pending home sales are up now, but at some point, just like the rates are going to go back up, at some point, people are not going to be buying at the same rate they were buying before.
It's jumping on you. There you go.
Jumping on me. There we go. Good catch, Aaron. So with that, like, the new home building, the custom builders, do you think they're gonna keep the price? Or
here's what my prediction. With mortgage applications, of course, down, lumber prices coming down, it'll kind of put builders in a position to where they may have to kind of level off some of that increase.
Yeah.
And then we may get some foreclosure in there because, of course, these eviction moratoriums are getting lifted, and people that were in the forbearance agreements and so on, they're going to be coming due. So we may see a little bit of a reversing in that inventory crunch that we've been in, which will open up some more of the resale. Now, people are going to still continue to buy homes.
Yeah, they are.
Will it be at the rate that we've been seeing? No. Quite frankly, the rate's been kind of slower because there hasn't been any inventory for us to even get out there, man. These people are making 10 and 15 different offers and not getting anything accepted. And realtors have been discriminating against the type of financing that are being available for some of these borrowers. They'll take, one particular financing over the other just because they think it's better. But nevertheless, I think it'll kind of level out, man. We'll see some righting of the ship, so to speak, here in the next few coming months. I
think in a couple. That's why I always tell my wife in the year. I'm like, I think by the end of 2021, we'll see some type of quote normalcy.
Right.
Let's. But I'm curious. I like to see what happens with this stuff, just from a business standpoint. Like we're all in the industry, so it's one of those things where you want to you hope for the best, but you also want to see what happens. So that's what I did. I just watched so I could say to my wife that, hey, that's what I said was going to happen.
Exactly. So we just got to hold on and just kind of see where we go from here. I've been in these cycles before. People have just been talking about these bubbles and this and crap. Like, I don't think we're not in a bubble. It's a different type of setup from then when we were before.
Yeah, I think so. The thing that I told my wife too is like they're like, oh, people are saying it's a bubble. I'm like, well, the people now, the lending guidelines are much tighter than they used to be. I'm like, these people, when they were approved for loans, they could afford the home. Like,
right.
2008, they couldn't. They're making
you just fog a mirror.
Yeah, you're making $2,000 a month. You got a $2 million home with the yacht. Like, there's no way that unless you find out a way in the next couple of years to substantially increase your income, you're not going to be able to afford that $2 million house.
Exactly.
So here we've, I know it, I see it, you see it. I mean, it's not easy to get a loan. Like they're still looking at their bank accounts. They're still getting. There's like more non-QM things coming around now. I've noticed, but still, like even with like a conventional loan, it's not. I wouldn't say it's easy. Like you're gonna have to.
You got to prove that
you got to do some digging. Yeah,
absolutely. You got to prove that you the ability to repay. That's exactly. one of the check marks for it. And even with the non-QM stuff, it's not like it used to be. Non-QM, you're putting some skin in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting in there with 3%, 5% down. You minimum, depending on the product, 10% up to 30% down on some of these products. So
they make sure that you have like whatever you need in the bank to if they need to come knocking on your door, the bank's safe.
Absolutely.
They want to make sure. But
yeah,
it's times are changing, man. And I think it's like I said, it's interesting to see these things just because. So I mean, from a business standpoint, but James is gonna be your guy, man. Once you need that home loan,
you better know it. Let me know. Use my money. Don't use your own. These cash buyers, these guys coming in and they killing it for us. It's like, my goodness, why do you want to use your money for that? Just use our money.
Yeah, use them. If they're giving away money at 2%, come on.
Yeah, you want to get a loan in this economy.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Yes, absolutely, man. Do it before
you're losing money by. You're just not losing money by keeping it. Or
absolutely. Use that cash on something else. You got you're crazy. So, anywho, we're moving on. Do a little sprinkle of real estate. If you do need anything for your real estate needs, of course, our information down in the description below. And of course, for your title needs, Aaron can help you. Aaron looks good. That's what he does.
And follow me on the gram. Aaron looks good. And
if you got it.
And if you got a Peloton, it's the same thing. I'll be on there. I spend like twice a week. I try to keep the figure right. 'Cause dad bod seeping in.
I hear you, man.